Come sit with mama. Good girl. Today's video is going to be the mindset talk that you need when you have an ambition that feels far out of sight. Your mindset keeps wandering around. You have a dream you want to manifest, and it just feels like, you know, when they say you gotta feel, you gotta stay high vibe, you gotta keep your emotions aligned, but you feel like constantly, literally, your emotions are weighing you down. You feel like certain circumstances are bigger than you and they keep consuming your thoughts. You feel like maybe even that there's just so many failures in the past. You're just like, well, I look at the past and I look at the evidence and I'm just not there, and it's starting to just build a negative momentum. So in this video, there are 5 steps that I'm sharing with you. Each one of them supports the other. It is an intrinsical system. I promise you that if you actually give this a chance, it will completely change your life. Everything is timestamped below, so you can come back and fast forward or go back and tap into the different part. Know that I love to answer every single comment, so write your comment below and it will be my absolute pleasure to support you in any capacity that I can. Before we get going, welcome back to my channel. Hi if you're new, my name is Atena, and on this channel I teach you to love yourself unconditionally and we manifest our greatest reality. So if that's something you're interested in, you should consider subscribing. And if you find value in this video, I will ask you to please give it a thumbs up, leave your girl a comment, share it with a soul friend. Like, it literally helps me out so much, so I am already thanking you in advance for all of that. Okay, if I look down, it's because I got my notes. The first thing I want to address is working from the outside in. And I know most mindset videos are like, it's an inside out job. Yes, we're going to get to it. But right now, I just want to address the elephant in the room, in the sense that you may literally have like external realities that suck. And yes, like in terms of the Neville Goddard, like disconnect, like see it, like yes to all of that. Like, you got to see the reality differently. I get it, but like legit, like if you look at your bank account and it's like negative $100,000, or you look at like the people in your life and you just feel shitty about it, or you wake up, like I was just saying, like I realize I have this crazy hormonal imbalance that just literally makes me feel a certain way every single month, and I have to figure out how to deal with that, right? So I want you to really get clear on how is it, like what is your external circumstance right now? Like what is it? Like write it down, how you are currently also perceiving that reality. So are you, like, some people will be $100,000 in debt and it's not a problem for them, right? So, but if it's a problem for you, write it down. Some people will wake up with hormonal imbalances and it won't be a problem for them. For me, it's a problem. It really bothers me. Some people will have things fail in life and it won't bother them. I'm telling you right now, I'm not telling you, I'm inviting you, sorry, I'm inviting you. If something is bothering you, write it down, and write it down exactly as you see it. Now, write down the perception that you see it and see what kind of emotions come up. So do you feel like you are being held back? Do you feel like you are a victim? Do you feel jealous of other people? Like, you gotta make it like a safe moment. Like, you're doing this alone, okay? There's no one watching you. Be unapologetically honest with yourself, okay? This is gonna matter in a moment, I promise you. Okay. I want you to practicely conscious when you feel waves of emotions, to recognize that it is a chemical reaction that you're feeling in your body, right? Literally, if you have a hormonal imbalance, it's a chemical reaction you're feeling in your body. But like, there's things that happen and we're so used to just shoving them away because we don't want to feel the emotion, like that we just like go, nah, I don't want to hear it. But if you were to literally let yourself feel, like when I say feel, I mean like your palms might get sweaty, your heart rate might elevate, you might literally like just start crying. Like, let yourself experience the chemical response in your body. And after you experience this chemical response, I want you to like maybe write this down before it even happens. Like, take notes. Take notes, okay? Because you're gonna want to have this process in front of you. Like, this is a habitual reaction that I am having, right? And to recognize that most emotional reactions are pretty much standardized in human history, in humans. But what makes it really hard are the thoughts that you have after about it. So the feelings that you have about this emotion, about this chemical reaction, okay? And the feelings that you have is how you choose to respond to things. It's literally the lens of your perspective. And this is highly tied with so many things when it comes to your subconscious reality. I don't want to get into that in this video, but know that I always link videos that help explain some parts of like your subconscious reality. I'm going to link a video where I talk more in depth about it if that's something you're unfamiliar with, but I'll assume that you have a knowing of your subconscious and how it builds your character. So as you have the chemical reaction, as you have the feelings, I want you to write how you are choosing to perceive it. And then I want you to have it on a piece of paper. Please don't just keep this in your head. Like, I was just with a client this morning, and it's literally, if you only have thoughts in your head, you have to give it an outlet. Write it down, okay? Take it out of your mind and put it on a piece of paper. I want you to look at it and say, God, angels, universe, I am willing to see it differently. Now, I want you to leave it alone for a little while. Go move your body. One of the best ways to let go of our feelings is to also just change our physical state. There's so many things I could say about this, but right now I'll just tell you, just go change your physical state. Go work out, go do something in nature, something that just gives your body something to do, or nature is probably one of the most calming things. Go for a long walk in nature if you can. Cyclical activities are really good too. So treadmills, cycling, anything that, or walking, literally cyclical patterns of movement are going to be really your friend right now. So what you want to do in the second thing is you're going to, as soon as you say, God, angels, universe, I'm willing to see it differently, you're going to have an intuitive insight of a decision to make, of an action to take. So it's really key for you to follow your intuition when it comes to rebuilding how you're going to respond to your life, your self-concept. And I actually took the time to write down what's intuition, because I think sometimes we're not really sure what our intuition is. Our intuition is understanding something intrinsically and not always needing a conscious reasoning. And it's really challenging in a world that portrays rational thinking, logical thinking, hustling, climbing a ladder. Sometimes the intuitive insight that you're gonna have might not make sense. And in fact, your logical reasoning may even try to talk you out of it. But I'm gonna invite you for a moment to really take this intuitive insight right after that declaration, or a couple of hours after that declaration. Sometimes it could be even a day after that declaration, maybe maximum, I would say 3 days. You're going to have something that's going to come up intuitively. I'll give you an example. For me, releasing alcohol, it was a huge intuitive sight that I had. I had sometimes reason to quit drinking alcohol, but logically my mind kept finding reasons to not quit drinking.
Hey, you like to do this socially, you like to enjoy a nice glass of red wine. Think of all the times you're gonna miss out on the red wine. Think of the skinny mugs that you have with your girlfriends, blah 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 blah.
You don't really have a problem. The list of logical reasons why I shouldn't quit drinking kept going on and on. My habitual body was used to it, but intuitively I knew. I was curious about Sorry, my husband came home. Every time my husband comes home, the dog goes crazy. She loves him more. I try to not take it personally, but literally she loves him more. She does not want to be with me when he's home. Okay, where were we? Okay, so literally I've been sober curious for a long time. And so to make the decision to go, sometimes it can be a bit of a challenge. Let's, for the sake of time, let's say you get the intuitive hit and you decide right away. To make a decision, by the way, is to cut off all other options and to go deep dive into it. And by the way, just a quick side note, if you have been sober curious for a while, I'm gonna link a video below where I talk about my sober journey and the 7 tips that I kind of wish I knew right away, just to get going kind of thing. But anyways, So step number one, getting really freaking clear on your perceptions, not like witnessing your feelings, then saying, God, angels, universe, I'm willing to see it differently. Go do a cyclical activity, get into nature. Number two, you're going to have an intuitive hit. It's going to be very small. Maybe you'll see something, you'll hear something, you'll have a feeling of something. Make the decision to follow your intuition. It is going to be the gateway to changing your self-concept. And if you're not sure what a self-concept is, I'm going to link a video below, but just in a nutshell, your self-concept is how you choose to perceive life. So anything can happen, but if you have like everything outside can happen, your self-concept will determine how you perceive it. Your self-concept will determine the actions that you take, the feelings that you entertain, post-emotional reactions. Your self-concept is friggin' important. It is literal life at times. The third thing that you're gonna wanna do is, oh boy, a lot of people don't want to hear this. Your body is literally the vessel through which you experience your mind. It's through the vessel through which you experience your life. Your body has a huge wisdom. And I'm just thinking of the client session I had this morning. Like, again, she's experiencing so much anxiety, and like people are just like, just let go, who cares? Not like who cares, but they're just like telling her, you just got to think to let go. And I was like, your body doesn't feel safe to let go. It's not just going to be a simple perception shift. Sometimes, yes, but oftentimes you have to love and nurture and prepare the body. And in fact, I did a video on how to heal your nervous system so that you can manifest on autopilot. I'm going to link that video below. Just know that in a nutshell, like, you have got to love your body through it and listen to the wisdom of your body through it. Your body is highly intelligent. And like, I learned this so many times, but I'll give you one prime example that like, I was like, holy shit, my body knows more than me at times. I was doing a cold plunge at the other ship, cold plunge at the other ship in Toronto. And the breathwork facilitator, the cold plunge facilitator, he's like, taking a deep breath, hold your breath, completely immerse your body up all the way to the neck, into the body, lock in your body, lock in your hands, and only then let go. And then let go of your mind. Your body's gonna know exactly what to do. If you start thinking, you're gonna start freaking out. And so I've had a couple of experiences actually like this, where I'm like, oh, this is what it means to release the mind and step into the body. So like, it's crazy. Your body knows what to do. So sometimes you gotta really, like, as soon as you make a really important decision that is going to potentially change your life, it might seem like a small thing. Like for me, quitting alcohol, I, by the way, did not anticipate how much of a self-concept shift that was. Like, I really underestimated how much of my identity was core-linked with this social norm of having a glass of wine with dinner. And it seems like such a little thing, but like the moment you make a decision to remove something that's like low-key a crutch, for me it was a crutch, it's like you kind of start reevaluating all of life, and you gotta love your body through it. Right now for me, like for instance, I did a couple of detoxes. I've been detoxing my liver, and I'm noticing now also hormonal imbalance. And so I'm paying attention to these things because my body is communicating to me. I'm hearing the communication louder and louder. And I believe like our bodies are literally like Ferraris, like literally. But we don't take care of them. We like treat them like a beat up Honda Civic. There's nothing wrong with a beat up Honda Civic, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? It's like, when you treat this body like a temple and you make it a habit to like show up for it. So sometimes you got to start small. Maybe for you it's like brushing your teeth every day with like a clean toothbrush that you renew every 3 months. Like taking yourself to the gym, committing to doing a workout. Maybe it's about changing your whole diet. But like, as you make the decision, combine it with body-based activities. I talk about a lot more body-based activities inside How to Heal Your Nervous System. But of course my camera died. Okay, when you wonder where it's gonna go, how it's gonna get there, like, it's a moot point because you're going to live your life anyways. And this is a perspective I want to share with you, and like I'm planting the seed with you for you to this is going to shift on all levels, but it may take some time. You're going to live your life anyways, and it's like if you make it a priority to create joy throughout your days as you are achieving the different milestones, as you're doing the things, like your mood on a psychological level will naturally elevate. And when your mood naturally elevates, you're actually proven scientifically to be more successful, to be more resilient, to be like more at ease and authentic with yourself. At the same time, this is not a cop-out to avoid doing challenging things. And sometimes like it can get confusing. Like I'll give you like this example, me showing up on YouTube. Sometimes it's really hard. Like getting on the platform was hard. I negotiated with myself for years. Is this a career? Is this not a career? How do I show up? Like it's uncomfortable. It's challenging. It's actually hard at times. At the same time, I find so much joy in the process. I find so much joy in connecting with all of you. I find joy in producing pieces of content that uplift people. So I'm achieving the different milestones like 1,000 subs and then getting monetized, and God willing I'll go to 100,000 subs or 1,000,000 subs, who knows, like the world's my oyster in that sense. Like yes, the milestone is important, but like how I feel on a day-to-day is even more important, because that's life. And I feel like people get into trouble when they don't understand how to shift their relationship with failure. They forget to embrace their wins along the way. They don't give themselves the permission to both be a student, because you're growing throughout life, and also enjoying humble brags. Like when you do good, say, I did great. I'm so proud of me. Thank you to me. And knowing that you grow as a child, sorry, now I'm looking down because I highlighted something, and I think it's because I really wanted to remember to say this. Remembering that as you're growing as an adult, you need to have that childlike experience in many ways, but through your adult lens. Like let your shoulders down. Share a mindset trick with your fears that everyone needs to adopt in a certain way. People get into trouble with their fear when they're more afraid of doing than not doing. What does that mean? You're always going to have fears in this life. You're always going to have a part of your mind that tries to talk you out of things. Like the part of my mind that tried to talk me out of not drinking alcohol. The part of my mind that is afraid to show up on YouTube as a platform. If you are more afraid of doing than not doing, if you're more afraid of doing than not doing, I have to read this part because the wording, it tricks me. Okay, people get into trouble when they fear more the doing than not doing. So I fear not doing YouTube more than I fear doing YouTube. I fear being on my deathbed not having tried more than having tried and failed. Your mind always operates on, your brain is actually wired to avoid fears, because fears are often conceived with danger and unsafety. So there are sometimes some healing that you need to do in order to feel safe no matter what, but to know that there's a part of you that always feels that. So it's like, if I'm afraid to take a certain action, I'm afraid to follow through on this decision of self-concept, I'm afraid to even go all out with my body, taking a moment to see that 80-year-old version of you, 100-year-old version of you, whatever age that you naturally go to, and really literally imagining yourself on your deathbed regretting not having tried, not having gone full force, not showing up, letting the victimhood take over. If you don't fear that more, you are going to naturally not do things, and there's no other way to word it to you. So that's the fourth thing. And the fifth thing is probably the thing that's going to tie it all together. Be very intentional about what has access to you. You have to have a high standard of what comes into your presence. So I'll share with you a perspective, and of course you do it tailored to you. I believe that we all need a healthy balance between being informed, entertained, and choosing to be focused and having a healthy level of delusion alongside taking firm action. So what does this look like? So I don't actually watch the news, I hear about it. So just that I'm aware and I'm not living under a rock, but I know if I watch the news, I have a political science background, I used to work in international development. I know it can get the best of me, but it doesn't mean I ignore it. It means that I pay attention to it, but I pay attention to it with a very intentional lens. And as I do that, I also recognize that sometimes like I need entertainment. Every human needs entertainment. There's a reason why like the Super Bowl like charges what $1 million for like a microsecond. You might think it's stupid. I know I definitely judge it. But at the same time, it's like all of us humans, we need a form of entertainment because that's a part of our life. And as I do that, as you do that, it's like also being very intentional and focused about how you step into the day. So I don't have my journal today with me, but like inside the journal, step into the chrysalis, which is a 90-day journal that is intentional on shifting your self-concept, bringing your focus lens to what you want to manifest in this life. Every day I write, what's my intention? Who am I being today? How am I perceiving life? What are the stories that I'm entertaining? And this gets me to take action more often than not in the direction of life. And then at the same time, because our brains are a record of the past, we need to all have a healthy form of delusion in order to take action from a place of genuine enthusiasm on a consistent basis. Now, if that part seems like I have no idea how to do that, I'm gonna link a video below where I talk to you about how to have a healthy level of delusion that not only helps you shift in self-concept, but it also just helps you live a happy life. So let's go over all the steps again. So the first step is, what is it, like I know what I want, what are the challenges that I'm seeing? What are the it's not number two, sorry, it's still number one. What are the emotional reactions that my body is used to having, and what are the feelings that I get? As I feel this, as I write this down, God, angel, universe, show me a different way to perceive this. The second thing you're gonna get an intuitive insight, a feeling, a knowing. You're gonna see something, it's gonna inspire you to take new action. This new action is going to require you to make a firm decision that's going to feel very uncomfortable, and it may not make logical sense. Many times it will only make logical sense after, okay? Number 3, love on your body. How can you support your body to get on board? Do you need to heal your nervous system? Do you just need to zhuzh up your self-care routine? Make that decision as well. Mind and body are connected. Number 3, the part of you that doubts faith, will I ever get there? That is a moot point. You are going to live your life anyways, and if you're going to have the fear of, am I ever going to get there? Put your fear on the other side of, I actually don't even want to know what it's like to not try and not go all in, 100% in, and show up every single day in every way. Number 5, be very, very intentional with the standards of what has access to you. And by the way, when it comes to the access, I also want to say, like, it's okay to have friends that go through hard times. Like, definitely having a level of self-compassion is very necessary in this life. Like, we all need each other. Like, I'm going through sometimes a hard time. Like, I don't want my friends to disregard me. Everyone goes through challenging times. I think the times where you got to reevaluate your friendships is when someone is going through a hard time and they don't want to get better. Like, you feel constantly drained in their energy. You got to unapologetically remove yourself out of that. And that may have sounded like a last thing, but it just like, it came to me and I was like, let me just share this. And it goes like also for you. You got to stop making excuses for your toxic behaviors, your toxic habits. Like, if you have a habit of watching a show and every time it puts you in a bad mood or you can't go to sleep, you got to have a standard of not letting that access you right before bed, right? Anyways. Okay, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below. Make sure you click that like button to show your support. And until next video, I'm sending you so much love. Bye. I like your bicycles. Curly girl hair problem.